So today I'm going to lead you into a meditation to help release the fear of conflict. A lot of people shy away from conflict, may walk away instead of fully expressing their own needs. And when we do this, then we're really denying what's important to us and often end up being unhappy in a relationship where this happens. So it's important for us to find a way to be present with communication that wants to happen. And so releasing fear of conflict is a good start for us to begin to be able to do this. So I invite you to just get comfortable in your seat now. So just find a position that's comfortable where you can have your feet flat on the floor, or cross-legged yoga style, and have your spine straight, and just take a few deep breaths. Just close your eyes now, get centered into your body, and just breathe in relaxation, breathing out any stress or tension. Breathing in relaxation. Just sigh and let everything else about your day simply fade away now. Just feeling yourself fully present in your body. And just be aware of allowing your whole body to relax now. Feel your shoulders drop. As you release all the weight of your thoughts and your worries, just let them go, let them disappear, and just feel your shoulders relax now. Feel your arms and hands relaxed. All the muscles are just letting go, sinking down. And feel all the muscles in your face now relax. Jaw softening, even the muscles on your scalp are relaxing now, and down the back of the neck. And feel that beautiful relaxation moving down through your abdomen, down through your hips, as your legs become relaxed, feeling that beautiful relaxation everywhere. Now we are going to take a little walk inside the body. We're going to move from the mind and into the heart. So imagine that you are a little person inside your mind. You can see yourself looking out through your eyes. This is where you usually imagine the you that resides there. And so we're going to take that little you and we're going to move it down now through the mind. Just let your imagination lead this. Your imagination can create anything you want to create. And so now just pretending that that little person that is you is moving away from your eyes now and looking down your neck. And so you decide to move down into the neck, so you see that little being moving from your mind, from your head, and down into your neck. And imagine that this little being can look out the front of your neck, and it realizes that from this perspective, it is below the chin, so the chin is like a little roof that's hanging out over the neck. And it can turn around and it can see out the back, because it's no longer limited by your eyes. It can look wherever it wants. And so this little being just notices what it feels like in your neck, what the texture is like, how warm it is, what it's like to look out of your body from this perspective. And now this little being is going to drop down onto the heart. And you see this little you now standing on top of the heart as it pulses and beats. It's kind of like a game to see if you can stand on the heart while it's beating and moving. And in one of those heartbeats, you fall down into the back of the heart and you find yourself spinning in a spiral vortex that is leading you into the heart. And you drop down and you land in a little room in the heart. And it may be dark in this room and you wonder where you are. And so you ask for there to be light. And you realize that this little room is a very comforting place. And you just imagine that it lit up, as if the lights came on, as if you were in the dark and you just turned on the light switch. And you're just sitting there, this little you, feeling so playful, exploring your body in this way. And as it looks around, it may notice different things in this little room. Perhaps there's furniture in your room. Perhaps there's things on the wall. Just take in this environment and let your imagination create whatever it wants to create. Just like drawing a picture, it's all coming from your own mind. And as you're sitting in this space, you feel very comfortable, very safe. And looking around, you notice now that there's a doorway in this room. Interesting that you didn't notice it until now. And so you get up and you walk over to the door, wondering what might be on the other side. And so you decide to open the door, and as you do, beautiful light radiates through the door like warm sunshine, touching you and filling you with a feeling of love and peace and warmth. And it is so beautiful that you walk through the door and into this beautiful radiant light. And as you stand there in that light, you have the sense that there is someone before you. And as if your eyes have just adjusted to the light, you see this beautiful being before you. And you realize this being is like a guide or an angel, your own higher guidance that is here to help you resolve your fear of conflict. And this being speaks to you. Greetings, beloved. Greetings from a place of deep love. I am here as your guidance, as your support. I am your own higher wisdom, your own higher guidance. And I am here today to give you the experience of touching in with that guidance yourself. And then this being asks, are you ready to be witness to your own truth? Are you ready to touch your own wisdom? And of course you say yes. And the moment you say yes, it is as if you are 15 feet tall, looking down upon a little version of you once again. Only this time you see yourself in conflict with someone. It is you and someone else in your life that you experience conflict with. And you see a heated discussion happening. And you see yourself wanting to run, wanting to turn around and walk away. And And your higher wisdom, this beautiful being that is your own higher guidance, speaks to you and says, there is another way, dear one. There is another way instead of running from conflict. Your fear is that believing that you are not strong enough to stand in your own truth. The reason that you want to run away is because you don't believe in yourself enough to express what that is. And it is because it has been modeled to you in your childhood that it is not safe. And this being invites you now to look down upon those two people, one of which is you, with a new perspective. See that conflict is really communication wanting to happen. It is the opportunity for a very intimate connection with another person, as long as it is respectful. And so you look down now and you see this other person who is angry and expressing themselves. And you realize that their anger is not about you, it's about them. It's their anger. They just don't realize it, and so they're projecting it out to you. And you realize that in that moment, you have the opportunity to ask them to be respectful. You can ask them to communicate what they need to communicate to you in a different way, in a way that honors who you are, in a way that is respectful. And so you see yourself now saying, just a moment, there's something I would like to say. And this person is somewhat taken aback because they're not used to you responding in this way. And so they stop. And they wait for you to speak. And you hear yourself speaking now to this other person, telling them that you're willing to be in communication, but it needs to be in a way that is respectful to you. And you can explain to them that sometimes communication is fearful to you, and so it needs to be a safe place for you to fully listen without shutting down. And so you ask this person to honor your needs in the way that they are expressing themselves. And at first the other person looks somewhat dumbfounded, like they don't know what to do with this information that they've just received. And you may see different responses in this moment. You may see them simply deny that and walk away, or tell you that you're crazy and just keep on ranting, or actually hear what you have to say and give you the opportunity to explain more about what your needs are. And so be witness to what unfolds for you. See for your own experience how this wants to unfold. And know that from this viewpoint, you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself to set boundaries and ask for respectful conversation. And then in a place of safe and respectful conversation, you can actually hear what the other person has to say. And you can find the courage to then express what you need to say in return. In this place of respectful communication, it is safe for you to express your own needs. And from this higher perspective, you realize that of course your needs need to be expressed. A healthy relationship is not one where one person is always conceding to the other. Those relationships always fall apart eventually, or lead to a lifetime of hardship and sorrow because they are so unbalanced. And so you realize that by loving the self and expecting healthy communication and expressing your need for clear boundaries in that communication, that you are not only loving yourself, but you're also loving the other person. You're giving them the opportunity to expand and grow as a person by learning that they need to be respectful. And in that process, they are also respecting themselves more. And so you see yourself there in that situation, expressing that you are willing to hear them out as long as they are respectful. And that could mean the tone of their voice, the language they use. And it's easy for you to express this now. And so you tell this person your own point of view, what is important to you. And you see what their response is. And you know from their response whether this is a relationship that is supporting you or whether it's not. And you can make your decision based on that, knowing that your ultimate role is to honor yourself. No one else will do that for you. That's your role for yourself. And so you see the conversation ending now in a respectful manner. Maybe you didn't agree, but you are both heard and you can consider each other's point of view. Maybe you will agree to come back a day later and discuss it further. But you know now, most importantly, you know now that you can safely trust yourself to expect to be respected and to ask for what your needs are in conversation. And it feels great to be able to do this. It feels great to have a voice and to honor yourself. And you know that by practicing this in meditation, that you are making it more available to you in your life experience. And you know now that when someone else is disrespectful, you can ask them to change, or you can walk away and decide not to dishonor yourself. But it's not walking away from communication. It's walking away from a relationship that is not willing to be honorable. Before you walk away, you communicate your needs. And you know that you can handle the situation without avoiding conflict. Instead, you are managing conflict and learning to express yourself and express your own needs. And it feels so wonderful to do this. And so that scene simply fades away now, and you find yourself once again 15 feet tall, standing before this beautiful being that is your higher guidance. And you look to this being and you bow down in thanks for this experience that you've just had, knowing that you have truly awakened to a deeper wisdom that was lying within you, a deeper wisdom that is your own knowing. And the beautiful gift that comes from this is knowing that you deserve to be loved in every situation. And it is your role to be sure that you are in loving relationships, situations that are supporting you. And you do this by little steps, asking for respect, clearly stating what your needs are, And as time goes on, this will grow and develop. And with that knowing, you turn now, shrinking down into this little part of the self that found its way into the heart, and you walk back through that door, into that room in the heart. And you take a moment there just to think about what you've just experienced in that beautiful light that was on the other side of that doorway. And then you simply decide that you are ready to go back up into that place in the head now, and you move up through the throat, up into the head, looking out through your eyes once again, that little being that is you, that lives in the mind, now back in its usual position, and yet with a different perspective. And as you do that, you become aware of your body in this room once again. You feel your body on the chair, aware of any sounds in the room. You wiggle your fingers and toes, coming back into this now moment, back into this present space, knowing that you can use this meditation many times to help you experience what it's like to speak in your truth and to ask for what you deserve and to ask for the respect that you deserve to have in your life. And so opening your eyes now, coming back into this present moment. And so I would invite you to use this meditation several times so that you become very comfortable with this, and then begin to practice this in your life experience. So whenever you feel yourself wanting to run from conflict, or even if you find that you've already run away from conflict, and you catch yourself and you realize what you've done, go back. Just give yourself the courage you need to go back and express to this person what you need to express. And it can just start by saying, I'd like to communicate with you, but I want to do it in a respectful manner. And then if you would like to take this a step farther, I have created a method of releasing subconscious beliefs that is very powerful in allowing us to move forward through experiences in our life that seem to repeat over and over. It's called the freedom release technique. And what it does is clears the subconscious beliefs that we respond from in the world. So what I've discovered is that we can only change our thoughts after we change our beliefs, that everything that shows up in our life experience comes from beliefs about what we believe we deserve. So if we have people in our life that are conflictive and don't communicate respectfully, it's because somehow, for some reason, we don't believe that we deserve anything better than that. So by releasing those subconscious beliefs, it allows you to then recreate your life experience. When you release those beliefs, then you will not stay with people who are not respectful to you. You will simply not attract that into your life. And so I invite you to click through to the Freedom Release Technique video where I will be releasing 4 different beliefs related to fear of conflict. So we're going to release the fear that expressing yourself will lead to rejection. So a lot of times we're afraid that if we're honest and demand respect, that person will just walk out of our life. The second one is to release beliefs that it's not safe to express yourself. Maybe you've had experiences where you've expressed yourself and the backlash has been something that then made you feel that it wasn't safe to do that. The third one is to release unhealthy patterns that were modeled in our childhood, such as a parent who enables another one, so that we learned that you can let someone go and treat you disrespectfully and you're just supposed to be the good person and let that happen, which is not a healthy way of being. And the fourth one is to release the belief that it's important that you release the belief that what is important to you doesn't matter, and so you give in. So to clear that so that you can know that what's important to you should be important in any relationship. So I invite you to click through now to the Freedom Release Technique video, and once you do these releases, everything starts to show up differently in your life. It's really quite incredible, almost miraculous from some of the experiences that I've had doing this work. And certainly for other people who do this work with me, they say that things just shift immediately. So it's definitely something that will support you in your journey in standing strong in the face of communication and knowing that you deserve all the respect that we all deserve.